thank you for having me. What's your name? Sarah, really nice to meet you. Hi. What's your name? Trevor, really nice to see you. Thank you guys so much for welcoming me. Are you going to keep me on schedule?
Yes.
Excellent. How are you?
Chair Putney, principal.
Nice to see you. And hi.
Dave Thompson, the assistant principal.
Really nice to meet you
Thank you
both.
so much for coming.
Well,
It's a big day.
you and your classmates wrote excellent letters, so how could I not come, right? Right, you guys did a great job. Yes, that's right, that's right. And I read a bunch of them. Everybody liked the Hall of Flags a lot, it seems to me.
Would you like me to?
You know what, I'll keep this one on, because I left my big overcoat in the car, so we're good. Okay, thank you. All right. Hello, how are you?
Hello, I'm Mrs. Memelo. Nice to meet you. They're so excited.
Well, I'm excited to be here. I've had two excellent guides.
Oh, good.
Is this on real TV?
Everybody, who do we have?
Governors.
Your governor. How exciting.
Any other people?
So exciting.
I am very excited to be here. I understand that I missed you guys at the State House, right?
Yes.
But I read a number of your letters, and they were really, really good letters. And they were really compelling. Do you know what compelling means?
No, not a clue.
Well, so they made your case for why I should come visit you very well. And when something is compelling, it's hard to say no to. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So you guys did a really great job with that. And I learned from some of those letters that you all like the Hall of Flags a lot,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you got to sit in Representatives Hall,
Yeah.
right? And you like to push the buttons there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to call on you in a minute, but first I want to ask you a couple of questions. So, when you were pushing those buttons, what were you trying to do with those buttons? What did, yes?
You're trying to vote.
And what were you voting on?
You're voting on the laws.
On ideas for laws,
Yeah.
right? Now, how many representatives were there? Are there? Actually, more than that. Yes, sir.
You're trying to vote like for laws like to make the world a better place.
That's right. When we vote on laws, usually people put in laws because they want to make New Hampshire and the country and the world a better place. But so how many representatives were there sit in Representatives Hall? Do you remember? 400? 400, right? So you were all just saying you vote on laws. So you vote to see if you can pass a law, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how many votes you need in order to pass a law of those 400? Yeah.
200.
Almost. So think about it like a baseball game for a minute. If it is the ninth inning in a baseball game and each team has one run, does anybody win the game?
No.
No, they don't win until somebody scores another run, right? So whenever you have an even number, you gotta have one more in order to win, right? So what's one more than 200?
201.
201. That would be one more than half of 400. And that's how many votes you need if you're going to pass something through the New Hampshire House of Representatives. That's called a majority, right? Now, do you guys remember being in the Senate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Senate's smaller, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember about how many senators there are? Yeah.
20.
24, almost, right? So let's think about this. If you were to get a proposal for a law called a bill passed in the Senate, how many votes would you need? What's a majority in the Senate if there are 24 senators? Yeah. 13, exactly. You guys are very good at this. Then, once the House passes a law and the Senate passes a law, do I have anything to do with it as governor?
Yes.
What do I do if I think a law is a good idea that they passed? Yeah. I actually just sign it, right? But yeah, my signature says I agree, and then it can become law. Do you guys know what I do if I don't think something should become law that House and Senate passed? Yes, sir.
You don't sign it and get rid of it.
Well, you know what? That's true for the national government, but in New Hampshire we do it a little bit differently. Yeah.
Right, veto on it?
I write veto on it, and then it is vetoed, and it doesn't become law, unless something happens. Do you guys know? there's a very special thing that can happen if the House and Senate still disagree with me a lot, and a big number of them still want it to become law, they can do something called override my veto if they get 2/3 of a vote. That's called supermajority, okay? So you guys are really good at civics. Are you liking other things in school too?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, who likes math? Who likes reading? How about social studies? How about art? How about music? How about computers? Science? Recess? Lunch? Yeah, okay. Put your hands down. Yeah, lunch is always good. I ask those questions because one of my jobs as governor is to make sure that when you're in school, you're learning the types of things you'll need when you get older so you can have choices about what kind of work and jobs you want to do, right? So one of the things I hear from employers and businesses all around the state is they need you guys to be good at all of those things, right? Because you need math and science and computers to have all the kind of technical skills you need. You need reading and writing so you can communicate. You need social studies so you're aware of the world around you. You need art and music so you can think creatively. You need lunch and recess to be happy and healthy people, because it's much nicer to work with happy and healthy people, right? Okay, so will you continue to work hard on all of those things?
Yeah.
And do you help each other when you're having difficulty with something?
Yes.
You're a good team, right? Okay, that's really excellent too. I bet we have time for a couple of questions and then a picture, okay? So, yes, right back there.
On the board, we get to like do stuff with you and
Yeah?
everything, and we like ask you questions and
We
talk
did.
about our school and it.
Yo, that's cool.
We weren't
We
sure
want
if
you
you'd
to-
ever had a chance to use the smart board before.
I have not used a smartphone
Oh,
before. I have seen it. Does somebody want to show me how to do it?
and try
Okay, should I try it? All
We made a
right.
game for you.
And
You made a
hopefully
game?
it'll work.
Yes, it's a
All right.
game.
So it's fun. So they made an acrostic poem.
Oh, boy.
And so what you get to do is you get to drag the colored shape away and it'll reveal a word describing you.
Oh, wow. Boy, this is kind
Pick
of
anyone you want.
nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
Okay, so,
You don't need to do it in order.
Yep.
okay. Do it like
And
this.
hopefully it'll work.
Whoops.
Sometimes it won't.
Yeah, there we
It
go.
is. So-
G for generous. Well, thank you. All right, so I don't have to do
We
this in
did-
order,
And a little
right?
bit, you have to kind of do a Vanna
Yeah, so
on the
do it
side.
like
Yes,
this.
you have to be Vanna.
All right, there we go.
Oh, yeah?
Spectacular. Wow, I'm liking this
That's
game.
okay.
Okay, so, amazing, thank you. I wonder, Mr. Hassan, my husband, would love to see this too, because I don't know it. Visitor. Wow. Optimistic, thank you. Do you think optimism is a good thing?
Yes.
Yeah, I do
I don't
too.
know what it is.
You know what it is?
I
It-
don't know what it is.
Okay, so optimism is when you tend to have an outlook that you believe things are gonna come out okay. Okay? It's thinking positively about things. Okay? Excellent. Thank you. Respected. Thank you. I don't want to get too big ahead here. Though, you guys. Okay, here we go. Nice. Thank you very much. Awesome. That's feeling very spectacular now. Okay.
All right.
Let's see, what haven't we done? We did all of these, I think, and then, whoops, I'm gonna have to do ruler. Wow. I'm not sure everybody in New Hampshire would like to think of their governor as a ruler. New Hampshire, thank you. Official. All right, well, wow, this is very good. Thank you.
There's another
And
thing.
you've been really itching to say something, so what's
Did
up?
you notice anything on that about the flag?
Oh, it's all red, white, and blue.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I came up with the idea.
That's an excellent idea. Those are really good colors. They're very patriotic colors. Says, yes, sir.
I think you could forgot the H in Hassan.
Oh, well, I wouldn't want to do that.
And then there's another S.
Honor. Thank you. Honor me. Oh, and there was another S. Special. All right, well, I'm going to have to tell Mr. Hassan, whose family name this is. We came up with this. We'll email it. How about a picture?
Okay.
Is the bell gonna ring in 3 minutes?
I think we're,
Okay.
they won't go anywhere.
People, thank you so much for coming.
Thank
I
you so much,
appreciate
Ms.
it.
Paul, for having me.
Yes, we're excited.
So Trevor, is this your class? It is, okay. So hi, boys and girls, how are you? Good. Why don't I'll come up this way so we don't all have to twist in our seats a little bit. So, I know you missed we missed each other at the State House, right? Yeah. But you guys wrote really good letters to me, asking me to come visit you. And one of the things we talked about in the other class is your letters were very compelling. Do you know what compelling means?
Yeah.
Yeah. Persuasive, exactly. You made your case well, and it was very hard for me to say no, right? So here I am, so well done. And did you enjoy your visit to the State House?
Yes.
Okay. Did you visit the House of Representatives?
Yes.
Okay. And do you remember what they do in the House of Representatives? No. Okay, yes, sir.
Don't they vote?
They do vote. What do they vote on? Yeah. New ideas for laws, right? And then did you visit the Senate too?
Yes.
Okay, and they vote on proposals for laws too, right? Do you know when they vote on laws, how many votes do they need for something to become a law? Yeah.
More than half the room. For the 400 people, there has to be 201
Right,
for it
and
to pass
for
to
the
the next
24
room.
people in the Senate, how many?
13.
Right, exactly. So that's called a majority. That makes sense. It kind of, think about it like sports. If a baseball game, if both teams have one run, nobody wins, right? So you always have to have one more than half when you're voting on something in order to pass it. And then I'm governor. Do I have anything to say about whether one of those bills that gets passed in the House and the Senate becomes a law?
Yes.
What do I do if I think it should become a law? Yes, ma'am.
You sign it.
I sign it. What do I do if I don't think it should become a law? Yes, ma'am.
You don't say that?
Actually, not true. If I don't sign it for 5 days, it becomes law anyway. So I have to really pay attention and make sure I either sign it within 5 days, or if I don't think it should become law, what do I do? Yes, ma'am.
You veto it?
I veto it. God, you guys are very good at civics. Well done. Yes, sir. Yeah?
What do you do while you were at the State House?
What do I do while I was at the State House? So, it depends on the day. Sometimes if I'm there and 4th grade classes come through, I can visit with them, and I'm sorry I missed all of you. But for instance, this morning, I've had about 3 meetings at the State House to talk about anything from energy to the way to grow businesses in New Hampshire. Yeah.
Do you find out if people do bad things?
Sometimes I do. Yeah, sometimes I do. Other questions for me? Yeah.
How much time do you get to spend with your family?
It depends, but the job of governor is an all-the-time job, so I try to take some time at home with my family regularly, but sometimes events interrupt. So when we had the big snowstorm the night before Thanksgiving, I didn't spend as much time with my family over Thanksgiving than I had planned to, but my family also understands that, so we all work at it together, and we have some nice family times, especially in evenings around dinner time. Yes, ma'am.
How did school help you become the governor?
It helped me learn about a lot of different things and to learn how to communicate with people and listen to people. So let me ask you guys a couple questions. Do you like school? Who likes math? Who likes science? Who likes computers? How about reading and writing and social studies? Art, music, recess?
Everyone.
Recess, lunch? Okay,
Recess.
put your hands down. So to your point, that was a really good question. One of my jobs as governor is to make sure that when you're all in school, you're learning the things that will help you have whatever kind of job you want when you get older. Maybe you want to run for office yourself. Maybe you'd like to be governor someday, right? Maybe you don't know yet. I was a lawyer and a mom before I was governor, right? But all of the things I learned in school helped me prepare for having lots of choices. And what I hear from businesses around the state today is they need you to be good at math and science and reading and writing and computers. They need you to be good at art and music because that helps you think creatively, right? They need you to be able to communicate with each other. That's where reading and writing comes in. Social studies helps you understand what's going on around you and what's influencing people, right? And then they need you to enjoy recess and lunch because you should be happy and healthy. One, it's good for you, and two, it makes you a lot more fun to be around, right? Yeah. So, so that's how it helped prepare. That's how my school helped prepare me, right? Okay. Yes, and then yes.
Why did you want to become the governor?
Because I wanted to help people exchange ideas and learn about what the citizens of New Hampshire think we need to do to make the state even stronger. New Hampshire's a wonderful state, but we want it to get even stronger because you can always get better. And I had worked in the state senate on bringing people together, and I wanted to make sure we did that and that everybody had a chance to participate in solving our problems. And I thought I'd be able to help people do that, and that's what I've really focused on doing. That make sense? Yes, sir.
How scared were you during the election?
I scared, no. Just, you know, you're always anticipating, you always want the results to come out your way. But I'd been in the state senate for 6 years, and I had actually run for state senate 2 other times when I hadn't won elections. And one of the things that you learn is that even if you don't win, the campaign process is really interesting, and you learn a lot, and that you have a good life even when you don't win, right? And so that's an important lesson for everybody to have it. I think it helps you makes you a better leader that way. A couple of more questions. Yes, ma'am.
When you get sick, does some special person have to take your place for the day?
Not exactly. So luckily I haven't been sick yet, or at least I haven't needed to stay home sick, right? But if I were unavailable, which means let's say I was on an airplane going someplace out of the state of New Hampshire, or let's say I was really sick and didn't feel like I could make decisions because that's how sick I felt, then the president of the New Hampshire Senate becomes acting governor. So that's how this system works. And if he's not available, the Speaker of the House becomes acting governor. And so we all make sure that we keep in touch with each other and know what's going on so that we can all share if we need to. Yeah.
Are you in charge of anybody? Are you like the boss of somebody?
Well, yeah, I'm in theory, I am the boss of everybody who works for what's called the executive branch of state government. I also run my own office of about 20 people. Okay? Yeah.
Do you use a lot of math, and if so, what kind?
I do use some math because I have to write the budget. So one of the things that happens in government is you probably hear your parents talk about the taxes they pay, right? Well, taxes are what funds what government does. And so one of the things we have to do is figure out how we're going to spend that money. And that's an important way we decide what our priorities are. Because when you're spending money, you've got to be very careful with it. So you want to spend it wisely. So when I'm doing the budget, I have to figure out if somebody comes to me and says it's going to cost $1 million to do a certain thing, I have to be sure that I think that $1 million is a really good number, and then I have to add up all of the different numbers that all of those different people give me for things they want us to spend money on, and make sure we're gonna live within our means to do it, right? So that's one of the ways I use math. I also get a lot of charts and things to look at, and it's really helpful to have a good background in math and science and computers in this job. Yes?
How many people do you see each day?
Oh, that depends a lot. So yesterday I did a lot of different things, and so I went up and cut a Christmas tree in Bethlehem. I probably saw 30 people up there. And then I was at a assisted living community where I probably saw 100 people. I started the day by thanking workers from Hydro-Quebec in Canada for helping us get our power back, so that was about 100 people. So it just depends. And today I'm seeing a lot of you. So it can be a few people or it can be hundreds. Yeah. Yes.
Is it hard being the governor?
It's occasionally challenging because one of the things we have to do in government is make sure that everybody gets a chance to give their ideas, and then we have to find a way to agree and solve a problem even though different people may have different ideas about how to do it. So sometimes there's a certain amount of debate and argument, but what you have to do after that is you still have to find a way to agree on a solution and move forward. So sometimes that process is a little bit challenging, but I have all the people in New Hampshire helping me, and people in New Hampshire like to solve problems, so we generally can work it out. Yeah.
What do you do during the day?
Oh, I have meetings, or I talk to schools, or I do some reading. I'm on the phone a lot. And I do a certain amount of things like I did yesterday. When I cut that Christmas tree up in Bethlehem on a tree farm, I was trying to do a few things. I was trying to bring attention to the fact that we have lots of tree farmers in New Hampshire, and they're an important part of our economy, and they also help us keep our environment clean and beautiful, right? But we also were making sure that we let everybody know that we were sending a lot of trees to the families of our military members throughout the United States. New Hampshire just sent 450 trees. So I do events like that to shine attention on special things that I hope people will pay attention to, like our military families. But then I also have to listen to people and learn so I can plan the budget, and that's the kind of meetings that I do. Yes?
Do you like your job?
I love my job, because I get to work with the people of New Hampshire who are pretty fantastic. Yes, ma'am? Yes. I'm gonna listen carefully. What is the best part of my job? That's a great question, thank you. The best part of my job is getting to work with everybody in New Hampshire, and people in New Hampshire share with me what their lives are like and what they care about, and that's really exciting. Okay.
Ready? Look at Mr. Thompson. Nobody knows where to look, they're all like,